Okay, let's really get into it with LA Fav Farms. Um, it's way more than just, another cannabis brand. It feels like a whole lifestyle thing. But how do you actually do that? How do you build this entire world around a product, especially when the founder's journey starts? Well, pretty unconventionally.
Yeah, that's what's so fascinating, isn't it? How LA Fab Farms managed to leverage these really diverse, almost surprising experiences to carve out such a distinct cultural space.
Yeah.
So, our mission today is basically to unpack how they pulled this off, especially coming from that legacy cannabis scene background.
Right, the legacy scene. And the founder's start is kind of wild. I mean, really young, right? Like 14 years old, flipping cell phones on eBay.
Exactly.
And then barely out of their teens, age 20, they've already scaled up a recycling store chain.
Mm-hmm.
17 locations.
Uh,
I mean, at 14, I think I was just trying to figure out homework. This person's building like a mini empire. That's a different kind of street sense being built early on.
it absolutely is. And, that wasn't just random hustle. It really forged this resilience, a knack for navigating markets that weren't exactly regulated, skills that became super valuable when they stepped into the legacy cannabis world back in, 2008?
Yeah, pre-legalization chaos, basically.
Precisely, where you really needed that grit. And those early experiences, they directly paved the way for launching the actual LA Fav Farms brand in 2016. It's a textbook case almost of how these foundational skills, even from totally different fields, can be your secret weapon later on.
It totally makes sense. That street sense, that adaptability,
Mm-hmm.
it clearly laid the groundwork. Okay, so their main philosophy, a lifestyle is a terrible thing to waste.
Mm.
How does that translate? Because that's not just about the cannabis itself.
Right, and they live that. They've really built the brand around that philosophy. The flower is obviously key, but their reputation, it comes from this super curated product approach. They're known for those really distinctive, like loud, citrusy, candy-forward exotics. It's not just one strain, it's a consistent vibe. And they do these exclusive collabs with really respected extractors. Like for PuffCon 2024, they dropped Koshu Grape Bubblezum, which was washed by Feel Good, a premium process.
Wash, so like a high-end extract.
Exactly. And they do other unique stuff too, like Yuzu mini hash holes with Fidels and collaborations with Nothing Personal Hash. It makes every drop feel kind of rare, like a collector's item. It's not just product, it's about, scarcity and that top-tier connoisseur appeal.
And that definitely connects to the whole fab drip thing. The merch seems almost as important as the flower sometimes. How they make clothes and collectibles so, like, central.
They've totally mastered the merch game. Their store, LA Fav Hype and Cards, out on Fountain Ave in LA, it's not just a shop. It's like this cultural hub. You've got sneakers, streetwear, collectible cards, and their own exclusive Fav drops all in one place. It creates this cool intersection of like lifestyle, the legacy scene vibe, and even the resale market. It really builds a community feel.
That's smart. A
Mhm.
physical anchor for the community. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. I know they had that big run-in with the LAPD, the raid.
Yeah.
How did they navigate that?
Well, yeah, that raises the question, right? How do you keep that exclusive feel, that allure when things get tough, especially after a major hit like that? And it was major a raid on their, 10,000 square foot indoor facility?
Wow.
But instead of just, folding, it became this pivot point. They actually sued the city and they shifted strategically towards white label operations. That resilience, it wasn't just about surviving, it shaped their whole strategy moving forward. That whole exclusive drops, low noise thing.
Explain that low noise part.
Right. So no spamming weed maps, no big distro lists. They rely on things like signal groups, Instagram drops, direct to collector sales. The product lands and it's gone. Fast. It creates genuine hype because it's scarce, not because they're shouting loudest. It's like hype without the hollow.
That's fascinating. So the adversity almost forced them into a more authentic, maybe even stronger connection with their core people. Less noise, more signal.
Exactly. And their whole attitude reflects that. Like that not another lemon cherry tagline they use sometimes. It kind of pokes fun at the trends while they're busy setting new ones. It puts the focus back on quality, on the flower itself. The flower speaks, the rest is smoke, as they put it.
The flower speaks.
Yeah, and this whole journey, it just perfectly shows how you build a brand that's tough, that's woven into culture and lifestyle, and that can ride out industry shifts because it's adaptable and has this really clear, distinct identity.
So thinking about this, what's the big takeaway here? Maybe for anyone thinking about building any kind of brand. It seems like true brand power, especially today, isn't just about what you sell. It's about crafting this whole worldview, this lifestyle, this authentic vibe that people genuinely want to be part of, almost like a movement. And maybe, just maybe, facing down challenges and staying true, even when it forces you to be quieter, is what builds the strongest connection in the end. Something to think about, right?